Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another day of Chef Merica Cooks American. Well, I can't promise this will be as exciting as a phone call from Nancy Pelosi's house at 2 in the morning, but I'll try to do my best today. And today, I'm going to try to cook an experimental recipe that I'm going to try to emulate a cornbread recipe that's served at a rather famous restaurant around here called the Rutherford Grill. So let's see how it goes, let's see how it turns out, and hang on for the ride. It's going to be kind of wild, kind of like Mr. Toad. As you see today, a very extremely simplistic recipe. A can of Green Giant yellow sweet kernel corn, some Ortega diced green chilies, mild. You could buy more exciting ones, but I choose the mild. A Jiffy corn cup muffin mix. Marie calendars would do just fine, but you want a sweet, fluffy cornbread. More on that later. 6 eggs and a cup of milk. Why 6 eggs? Because each box of Jiffy calls for 2 eggs and a third a cup of milk. It's an amazing mathematical melody that turned out perfect right now. Place all the ingredients in the bowl. That's right, all the ingredients. And mix. And we're going to mix thoroughly, and I'll come back here in just a second. After about 3 minutes of a lot of intense stirring and whisking, making sure that the batter, that all the Jiffy mix, the dry mix, was absorbed into the wetness, pour this into a previously greased with some butter cast iron pan. Cast iron is going to provide a nice crispy texture, and actually the Rutherford Grill serves their cornbread in an individual pan. An interesting story. When I was a young man traveling cross country first time out of college in West Virginia, I was heading to the Southwest, and being an experienced connoisseur of Mexican cuisine, I had been to Taco Bell, and I pulled into a Mexican restaurant somewhere, and they asked me if I wanted red chilies or green chilies. Now, I'd had red chili that came out of a can. Pretty good stuff. I wasn't sure if I wanted anything that had turned green and fermented, so I passed up the green chilies that day. Later on, when I got to Farmington, New Mexico, there was a wonderful place called Furr's Cafeteria, and they had these wonderful little loaves of cornbread that had these little green chilies in it. So that was the beginning of my love affair with these things, part of my love with American cuisine. Heard that oven beep at 400 degrees. We're going to keep it in there for 20 minutes, and we'll see how she turns out. One more story about cornbread here from Chef Merica. It's going to get a little controversial, as I'm going to make a statement that growing up in West Virginia, cornbread was not something I enjoyed. I did not look forward to it. It was hard as a rock. It was cornmeal, milk, butter. No one ever thought of putting sugar in it. There was no flour. I suppose the recipe went back to Great Depression when, the basic ingredients, you had cornmeal, and that's what you put in your cornbread. I also think, and this is a theory, that the best grist mills never made it over the Appalachian Mountains over into West Virginia. So we had hard, coarse cornmeal. So my wife was quite surprised when she married a West Virginia country boy, and she would go, "Let's have cornbread for dinner." And I was like, can we have something else? Can you make some toast? How about some biscuits? So anyway, it took me a long time to find out the cornbread can be soft, it can be sugary, it can be delicious. So, like I say, waiting here a few more minutes to how this comes out of the oven, and we're going to see if we got something scrumptious. Let's try that again. Okay, folks, this ended up being in for 35 minutes. We're going to bring it out here, plop it upside down, and take a look at it. Here we are after 35 minutes. We're going to cut this into a couple of pieces, and our certified taste tester is going to try it. After further review, our officials here on Chef Merica determined that the cornbread needed to be cooked 5 more minutes. We therefore reinserted the cornbread into the oven, pulled it out, and now our professional taste tester will try it.
Smells right. Ah, this is it.
This is Rutherford.
This is good.
It's pretty darn close.
Pretty darn close.
That's all we can ask for. Thank you all. Y'all have a wonderful day. And remember, cornbread is good. I learned.